Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Hope all of you had a wonderful, lovely Diwali. And let's also get you over the next 1 hour all the news that you've missed out on. Of course, the flavor of the season is elections because the Bihar election is coming up. So what's coming up on this edition of Super 6? Here's a glimpse. We'll be beginning with the big political showdown from Bihar to Karnataka. What's the link? Well, the BJP is alleging that the Congress is funding the election campaign in Bihar using funds from Karnataka. The BJP has leveled this big charge that there's an attempt by cabinet ministers to actually push bureaucrats to ensure more money is coming in because they've all been given a certain quota, a certain number to go ahead and achieve and hand over that money. The Congress has rubbished this particular charge, but we're going to be focusing on that big political battle that's now, as I said, moved from Bihar all the way to Karnataka. Also coming up on the show at 6:30 this evening, we're going to be getting you a live report from the city of Chennai, where an alert has been sounded by the Met Department for heavy rain for the entire week. And it's not just Chennai, but coastal parts of Tamil Nadu are going to be bracing themselves for extremely heavy rainfall as a low pressure area is making its way into Tamil Nadu. We'll get you a live report on what to expect for all of you Chennaites joining us on this broadcast. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Let's begin with a look at the top 10 stories of the day. With less than 3 weeks to go for the Bihar elections, cracks are widening within the Mahagathbandhan. The Congress and RJD are at odds over 12 key seats, while speculation grows over Nitish Kumar's post-poll plans. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has wished the nation on Deepavali, marking the second festival since the grand Ram temple construction in Ayodhya. So in this letter, he has invoked Lord Ram's teachings, noting that Operation Sindoor reflected the same courage and valor. BJP is alleged that Chief Minister Siddaramaya's ministers are collecting funds from government officials to finance Bihar elections, claiming each minister has been given a target to go ahead and achieve. The Congress has dismissed the accusations as baseless, calling them mere shoot and scoot. And here's an interesting one. Biocon chief Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw criticized Bengaluru's potholes and garbage a few days ago, calling for urgent action. At that point, you had the Karnataka government dismissing it as a conspiracy to tarnish the image of Bengaluru. Today, Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar met with Shaw discussing infrastructure, public amenities and the city's growth. She also met with the Karnataka Chief Minister. Meanwhile, Karnataka CM Siddaramaya's economic advisor Baswaraj Raya Reddy has alleged a powerful nexus between the sand mafia and state officials, according to him, bleeding the state of over 400 crores in royalty revenue. Delhi's AQI has plunged to the very poor category as a hazardous smog blanket shrouded the capital city this morning. And this despite GRAP-2 implementation. The political blame game is intensifying, BJP accusing AAP of ignoring pollution for years. BJP workers led by Rajya Sabha MP Medha Kulkarni protested and performed a purification ritual at the Shaniwar Wada in Pune after burqa-clad women were seen offering namaz on its premises. Opposition parties condemned the move, calling it an attack on the country's secular fabric. A case of abetment to suicide has been registered against CEO Bhavish Agarwal, against the senior officer of Ola and the company in the suspicious death of an engineer. Ola, however, has denied the allegation, stating the engineer never raised any complaints. All right, let's get to our top story this evening. We're weeks away from the big Bihar battle, the Maha Dangal. And the Karnataka BJP has leveled a big allegation, claiming that Congress-ruled Karnataka is funding the Congress's campaign in Bihar. Here's what the BJP is saying. This is in fact B.Y. Raghavendra, Yadiyurappa's son, who's alleging that state ministers have been given a certain target, a quota. And they've been pressuring officials and bureaucrats to meet that target because that's money that cabinet ministers have to hand over to the Congress to pump into Bihar. This is an allegation that the BJP has put forth. But mind you, there's no proof that's been published by the BJP to back any of these claims, which is what the Congress is highlighting, saying, where's the evidence to back any of these charges being leveled against us? We'll run you through all of the reactions coming in first in a report, and then we'll be joined by our political panel. As poll-bound Bihar gets ready for the Mahadangal, the Congress government in Karnataka faces fresh accusations of a new scam from the BJP. BJP claims Congress ministers are pressuring bureaucrats to collect funds and are effectively turning the state into an ATM for Bihar polls. The BJP's alleged that every minister has been given a target now to raise money, making fundraising for Bihar elections their main focus.
ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಅವರ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಚುನಾವಣೆಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ಫಂಡನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಂದ ಲೂಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದೆ, ವಸೂಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ನಮ್ಮ ಎದುರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದೆ.
The Congress has denied these allegations, calling it shoot-and-scoot strategy by the BJP and challenging the party to produce proof backing their claims. The Congress has also released of B.S. Yadurappa, in which they allege there was a conversation about money being collected to fund an election.
I think Vijayendra and Raghavendra, all of them were in a practice of doing it. So I think to just make a statement, some hit and run. Where is the evidence? If he has any evidence, let us show it. Nothing is connected to it. They are afraid of our Congress party. India bloc will come back to power.
With both parties gearing up for the state of war in Bihar, Karnataka finds itself caught in the crossfire of election battles beyond its borders. With Sagaraj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today. Okay, let me bring in Sagaraj, who's joining us live from Bengaluru with a quick update on this. Sagar, it's not the first time that these kind of allegations have been, leveled. I remember during the Telangana election campaign too, there were allegations that time by the BRS that the Congress was using funds from Karnataka to fund the Telangana campaigns. It's not the first time the Congress has faced these kind of charges.
Absolutely, and if you see during the Telangana election, there was also ED raids which took place in Bellary. And at that point of time, they have also found out the network of money which was being transferred to few people in Telangana, and even Enforcement Directorate had arrested Minister Nagendra in connection with that. And when it comes to Bihar election, many of them are alleging that they were trying to use one of the MLAs who is known as Poppy, who owns casinos in Goa. And there are allegations from the BJP stating that they are trying to route the money through him, selling the gold or transferring the gold from Bengaluru to Bihar. Whereas the Congress government has said that rather than making all these allegations without any proof, give the documents. You cannot just hit and scoot from these particular allegations that they are making. And they claim that if you have any documents, you can go ahead and produce to your higher authorities, including Prime Minister Modi, ED, CBI, anything agencies that you have, and go ahead and conduct an investigation rather than making these kind of baseless allegations against the government.
All right, Sagai, thanks very much for joining us with those details. Let's open this up. Joining us here on this broadcast is Surabhi Hodigeri, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. We also have Shatabi Shivanna, spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. Namaskara. Thank you both very much for your time. Happy Deepavali, first of all. So thank you for joining us despite it being a rather festive day. But let's get right down to it. Surabhi, to you first. The question that's constantly asked is, where's the evidence? You're levelling very, very serious charges. Where's the proof?
Well, Akshita, when the allegations comes from the other side at a national level with something with respect to the ECI, and we ask the same question, it gets, completely muffled out. In this case, there's circumstantial evidence for sure, and that's right in front of the public. Because when the Telangana elections happened, when the Valmiki Nigam scam happened, it was the link was established, not just for the Telangana elections, but also for Ballari elections. Having said that, this is the same government whose economic advisor today has come out and said that there's a 400 crore sand mining scam that's been going on and causing 400 crore loss to the exchequer in Karnataka. It's the same government whose MLAs, whose contractors have also come out and said that we have a significant amount of unpaid dues, not just, and let me remind you, this is the same Congress government that came into power to hit in running the 40% scam Sarkara, which has fallen flat. That same Contractors Association has said that the corruption has doubled under the Congress government as per their claim. Where is the, these are all the circumstantial evidence that are in play. And with respect to Papi that you mentioned the report on 150 kgs of gold. Is that a joke in any way? Corruption is rising in the state, and it's a fair question to ask. Where is all of the money going? The fact that administrators bureaucrats are saying that we are being extorted, ministers being given targets, the onus to come up with evidence is not on us.
No.
As the opposition party, to bring light to the issues is on us.
I'll put forth your question on corruption to Shivanna, but before that, Surabhi, I come back. You know, if you're leveling an allegation, there must be proof. The onus very much is on you to also establish what you're alleging here.
I mean, Akshita, if the circumstantial evidence points towards a whole bunch of things, it is not for us to come up with and show photographs of money being taken from one place.
No, because right now it seems like hearsay. Right now it seems like hearsay
within the Congress. It shows very clearly that the Congress has something to hide. Whether the proof comes out or not is for investigative agencies who are, by the way, doing a job. And once that happens, once the ED comes into play, CBI comes into play, what is the Congress's first line of defense? Is that we are being targeted. It is our right as the opposition to bring forth these issues and to make it clear to the public, look, our money is being looted for so-and-so reason.
Okay, Shivanna.
Why does the Congress get so triggered? All they have to do is...
Shivanna, your opening comments, you've heard there from the BJP spokesperson. She's listed out allegations of corruption against the Siddaramaiah government and said, why can't we ask these questions?
No, my advice to the Bharatiya Janata Party is first decide your story. Is Karnataka broke or is it an ATM? In one breath, the BJP says the Congress has bankrupted the state's treasury with all our welfare schemes. And in the same breath, they say Karnataka is funding the Bihar elections. You can't be bankrupt and an ATM at the same time unless you're auditioning for a comedy show. Now let's get serious. If the money is really being sent to Bihar, how? By way of Aladdin's magic carpet? Or is it being wire transferred? Because we are talking about tangible cash. You control the income tax department, you control the enforcement directorate, you control the Central Bureau of Investigation. Use them, conduct raids, collect evidence, don't fire empty bullets in thin air. If the money is flying out, then give us the flight number. Stop whining and start investigating. And now, since we are in the business of leveling baseless allegations, let me put mine on record. The governments of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh are funding the Bihar elections for the BJP. And if you talk about the biggest misuse of public money, the union government is footing the bill for Mr. Modi's political roadshows. 2,000 crores for his travel, 5,000 crores for other advertisements, 600 crores for his SPG security. All this is taxpayers' money that is conveniently being synced during the BJP's election calendar. So please stop sermonizing us about morality. If the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to debate elections, let's talk about unemployment. Let's talk about price rise. Let's talk about governance, not WhatsApp fantasies.
Surabhi, your response. You know, if we're going to be linking states ruled by certain parties to an upcoming election state, then the list will be endless on both sides.
The Prime Minister's official work is not to be related to any election-related activity. He's also visiting other states. Please do not try to demean the office of the Prime Minister. One, you want to talk about price rise? Karnataka offers multiple examples. One price hike after the other that's burdening the people here in Karnataka. On the initial argument that you thought was incredibly funny, if the government is going in a revenue deficit right now and corruption is going hand in hand, then you can add 2 plus 2 and tell me where the money is going. Especially when the Valmiki Nigam scam happened and you scammed people from the most marginalized of communities and the ED established a link. Let me finish.
Hold on.
Please let me finish. The ED established a link that Lamborghinis were bought, an auto dealer was used, fake accounts were created in Hyderabad during the Telangana election. And if you're going to tell me that is, give us proof, investigate, the investigative agencies will do their job. When they do their job, like they have with the puppy case, please accept that your party is incredibly corrupt and using Karnataka as an
let's refer to what you're speaking of, to that one particular point, Shivanna. What's your response? That this is allegations that have been leveled before, which the ED is also investigated.
No, insofar as the Valmiki thing is concerned, 100% of the money was recovered. Their allegation was that we used it for Andhra or Telangana's election. How can the money be recovered if we have already used it? And insofar as Pappy is concerned, the Honorable MLA, it is his individual money that is being investigated, not money of the state government. Now, let me make it absolutely clear. Karnataka, madam, is not your ATM. It is India's growth engine. And every rupee spent is spent for its people, not your propaganda. And we all saw the video of Mr. Yadurappa and Anant Kumar discussing how much was paid, to who it was paid. Maybe that's why the BJP thinks that every government operates in this way. Sorry to disappoint you, Surbi, but we don't do cash and carry politics. Don't project your past sins onto a government that's actually delivering and not laundering.
Surbi, your quick response
Let me remind you, you want to bring in the date.
And let me also say,
hold on. Let Surbi respond first.
Every Modi rally.
No, you've raised issues, Shivana. Hold on. I'll give you a chance to come back. I'll give you a chance. One at a time, please, Surbi, your response.
Officers, waterman, dying by suicide day to day. Your government has the breadth and width to talk about anything other than what is exactly happening in their backyard. Priyank Kharge's tweet on the conversation between Thomas and Anand Kumar. One second, let me clarify. Was a diary of a Congress chief minister. They were talking about corruption of a Congress chief minister with initials scribbled out. There's a clarification tweet that's put out. I don't know if you were active in the same time, but I was, and I remember this diary very well. The conversation was about a Congress chief minister. Please do not try to distract people's attention just as you have in the last couple of weeks and days. Your own economic advisor, Mr. Basavaraj Raya Reddy, has come out today and said there is a 400 crore loss to revenue because of the sand mafia. Your own deputy chief minister has come out and said he's unable to control the garbage mafia. Your own party MLAs are alleging there is a housing scam. Your own contractors under this government are seeing that, contracts are not being paid off. Okay. These are the allegations, and suicide. Please let me remind you, because public attention has not been drawn towards this as much. A waterman, a poor waterman has
You've given a long list. Surbi, you've given a long list. Give Shivana a chance to respond to each one of those.
All of this is happening. Let us try to solve the issue at hand instead of pointing
Okay, Surbi, hold on now. Let Shivana respond to each one of those points that you've mentioned.
See, Surbi has spoken about everything apart from the real issue. Now, if you are saying we are sending money to Bihar, give us some evidence. We have evidence of Shri B.S. Yadurappa and Anant Kumar Hegde saying
No, she's clarified. She's clarified on that. Shivana, she's spoken on that.
To BJP High Command. We are not going to discuss that. At least give us a video that some money is being sent to Bihar. But the real ATM is the Union Treasury. Every Modi rally, every billboard, every helicopter ride is funded by our taxes, not by BJP's donations. How can PM Modi's political roadshows conveniently
No, but what do you want, Shivana? Come on. Do you want the Prime Minister not to campaign in Bihar without SPG cover?
No, let him campaign, but not his political rallies must be distinct from official government programs.
How?
There is a report that indicates that the BJP and the union government
has that been followed previous governments? Has that been followed in previous governments? No, Shivana, come on. That's not been followed in previous governments either. Official protocol for the Prime Minister's travel is something that's covered by the PMO.
Madam, that is what. If you are doing a political roadshow, that is completely different. If you are doing a government program, that is completely different. Now, Bihar election has been announced. Prime Minister Modi will conduct union government programs at least 10 times. And in these programs, he will give election speeches. Now, isn't this using and abusing?
Now, if you're telling me, no, Shivana, come on, Shivana, let's focus on Karnataka. Let's focus on Karnataka and Bihar, because if you're going to suggest to me that previous prime ministers didn't do this, then I'd buy this argument. Surabhi,
no, if at all they did, they did. That doesn't give them a leeway for the present government to do so.
One second.
Surabhi.
It's very convenient to attack the Prime Minister on absolutely anything because you don't have any real substance to attack him with. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Vadra, her children, her husband, everybody is owed a SPG protection. But when the Prime Minister of this country...
It's not about SPG protection. Why did you spend 5,000 crores on government ads?
Please tell me. Mindset aside.
Why did you spend
1 second, hold on, time out. I'd like to bring it back to what's happening in Karnataka because I'm running out of time. Surabhi, Shivana, I will bring a pointed question. Surabhi, to you, a pointed question, because I don't want to go into, who's funding the Prime Minister's campaign, who's funding Rahul Priyanka's campaign, because then we're going about in circles. Focusing again on what's happening in Karnataka. What Shivana has highlighted here is that, look, this leaves space for the Congress to come out and say, oh, it's the UP government that's funding the BJP campaign in Bihar. Oh, it's the Maharashtra government that's going ahead and funding the election campaign in Bihar. What stops them from leveling these allegations without any proof?
Well, they have in the past. The entire vote chori campaign has been mere allegation against one of the treasured institutions of our country. But that's not the point here. The point is there is circumstantial evidence pointing towards the fact that Congress in Karnataka. May I please complete?
Hold on,
before you
Shivana.
come in?
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
this is an MP who has come out from the BJP and shared a personal anecdote that he's had to encounter. And it's not just coming from the BJP, it's coming from the Congress. It is the Congress MLAs who have alleged corruption within the state. It is the Congress administrator and
Corruption
bureaucrats
within
that
the state, yes,
repeatedly
Surabhi,
said
but what's
again
the
and
link to
again.
Bihar? What's the link to Bihar? Where's the link to Bihar?
Akshita, I come back again to the Valmiki Nigam Mandali scam. Did it happen or not during the Telangana election?
Was
there
100%
not a
money
link
recovered?
No, and
established
Shivana's
that money
responded
went
to
from
that.
Karnataka to Telangana?
No,
Was there
was 100% money
Lamborghinis
recovered or
were
not?
Shivana has
recovered?
responded to that,
What
saying
else?
100% accounted for.
And at the same time, they say it was
Those
spent
were
in,
the, these are the
Telangana.
same doubts
And
that are in
now-
the
Hold on,
minds of
Shivana,
the
I've mentioned
people
your
in
point.
Karnataka
Hold on.
also.
Shivana, hold on. I've mentioned your point. Surabhi, Shivana's highlighted that, the point that you've made, 100% accounted for money, he says.
No, hang on. It is a scam that we know happened.
How?
It is misappropriated money that happened. What is this? This is like the Muda scam altogether. Again,
Yeah, just
we've
like the
given the
Muda
sites,
scam
but we've
wherein
taken
all
back
the
the sites,
courts
so
have
no corruption
exonerated
happened.
the
That
honorable
Okay,
does not
quickly,
work.
Shivana, your
family.
response, and then I have to wrap this up. Shivana, your response quickly.
See, now if we are going
Akshita, I
to,
just want to
if
say this. It
Surabhi
is in the. It is
going to
playing
rely
in
on
people's
personal
minds right now. It
anecdotes
is
as
playing
evidence,
One at a
then
time,
this
please. One
is
at a
a
time.
recipe for
One at a
disaster.
time. Surabhi, just
here
hold
in
on.
Karnataka.
If Surabhi is going to rely on personal anecdotes of a
No.
member of parliament, then this is a
This
recipe
is
for disaster.
precisely
Madam,
what
please give
Rahul
us some
Gandhi
evidence.
is
Please,
also
nobody
doing.
can hear.
Connect this evidence to
I
Bihar,
cannot hear
and then
anyone
we
if
will talk.
everyone's talking at the same time. Just hold on.
Income tax,
Surabhi,
use
hold
the
on.
CBI.
Shivana, go ahead.
No, it's as simple as this. Personal anecdotes are being equated to tangible evidence. Is this the way democracy is going to be run? Is this the way our dialogues are going to be reduced to? And the member of parliament must use his time more judiciously and wisely on things that are important. Let him question the prime minister on where the tax.
Blank against 40%.
Why is injustice being done to Karnataka?
No, wait.
Tunga Dam project, as opposed to making baseless allegations,
Okay.
arbitrary allegations.
Okay,
without
I'm going
an
to wrap
iota
this
of
up.
proof.
I'm going to wrap this up. I've run out of time. Surabhi and Shivana, thank you for joining us. The BJP, look, as you heard there from Surabhi, is continuing to allege that there is a need for an investigation to look into whether money from Karnataka is going into Bihar. But at this point, the Congress maintains that there's no evidence. So till there's no evidence, what really can we push for of an investigation? We're going to continue tracking this because there's no doubt this political controversy is going to continue to snowball. But let's talk about the other big headline that emerged from Karnataka. Over the last few days, we saw a rather public spat over Bengaluru's infrastructure. You had Biocon chief Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, and there was this huge argument about whether she was a Bengalurian or not to speak about this, whether she's an outsider. I'm going to go ahead and call her a Bengalurian because she stayed in Bengaluru for decades. And to me, that warrants for her to be referred to as a person who belongs to the city. She was someone who criticized the Bengaluru infrastructure, questioned the administration, questioned the government, which every citizen has the right to do. But she was met instead with a whole lot of criticism, in fact, claims by the government saying this is a conspiracy to defame, malign Bengaluru's image and whatnot. Interestingly, today, the Biocon chief met with the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and the Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar. Is this a Diwali truce? Was there an olive branch? Is there damage control? Because there was considerable criticism that came the government's way for taking on Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. Let's get you all the details.
After non-stop social media jibes and taunts, it seems a Diwali truce has been called. We are talking about this meet between Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw and CM Siddaramaiah, as well as his deputy DK Shivakumar. The Biocon chief met with CM Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar just days after a rather public spat over Bengaluru infrastructure. And this meet was clearly more than just a Diwali courtesy greeting.
Is the government assured you, man, that they will address the issue? The DK Shivkumar has assured you? Yeah.
They all have agreed that they are going to cooperate with the Bangalore and they will not hurt Bangalore. They will support with the system. I have called a meeting of all the adjacent area. Now I have taken over the adjacent local bodies of Bengaluru.
The Karnataka Deputy CM's statement after meeting Kiran Shaw was a sharp contrast from his earlier comment days ago when he had criticized the Biocon chief.
They have some personal agenda with them. Why I wanted to tell them openly at the time of BJP regime, why did not open their mouth? No one opened their mouth. Now they are telling they have their personal agenda. We will tackle all those issues.
Kiran Mazumdar Shaw repeatedly questioned the government over the state of affairs in Bengaluru and was targeted by even the CM for doing so.
On how the optics of targeting someone like Kiran Mazumdar Shaw simply for questioning the government wasn't ideal, and whether this particular meeting with the ministers was damage control or an olive branch, hopefully it will lead to addressing her concerns rather than brushing them aside as a conspiracy. With Shivamurthy Sagaraj reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
There's a heavy rain warning that's been issued by the Met Department for parts of Tamil Nadu. Starting tomorrow, for those of you living in the state, brace yourselves for heavy to very heavy rainfall. Several coastal districts particularly are on alert. Chennai too is expected to be hit by extremely heavy rainfall. It is not just a 24-hour alert. The Met Department has warned that in a matter of the next 3-4 days, there's going to be extreme rainfall in most of the coastal districts of Tamil Nadu. In fact, just today, over 100 mm of rainfall was recorded in many Tamil Nadu districts, including in parts of Chennai, where we understand that there are some pockets in Chennai that have received extreme rainfall today. But fortunately, there have been a few gaps that's helped for the water to drain off. This is just the beginning of the monsoon. And we're already seeing low depressions moving towards coastal parts of Tamil Nadu. In this particular case, it's not a depression, it's a low pressure system that's moved closer to the coast.
ரெண்டு நாளாக எல்லா இடத்துலையும் மோட்டர் பம்புகள் வைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு. எங்கெல்லாம் மழைநீர் தேங்கி இருக்கோ உடனடியாக அதான் அந்த அகற்ற பணிகளில் ஈடுபட்டிருக்கிறாங்க. எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் நின்றுச்சோ இந்த பொதுமக்கள் சொன்னாங்க கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக நிற்கிது, அங்கே கூடுதல் கவனம் செலுத்த சொல்லியிருக்கிறோம். அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் வீடியோ கால் மூலமாக டெல்டா பகுதியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய மாவட்ட ஆட்சித்தலைவரோடு முதலமைச்சர் வந்து ஆலோசனை நடத்தி எங்கெங்கே என்னென்ன இப்போ நடந்துகிட்ருக்கு, என்னென்ன வேலைகளை துரிதப்படுத்தணும், எங்கெங்கே என்ன பிரச்சனைகள் வந்திருக்கு, பத்திரிகை செய்திகள், தொலைக்காட்சி நியூஸ்கள் எல்லாம் பார்த்து நீங்கள் ஆக்ஷன் எடுத்துருக்கீங்களா, என்னென்ன ஆக்ஷன் எடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கு எல்லாமே சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க.
So the government is saying we're fully prepared for the monsoon. I want to bring in Pramod Madhav, who's joining us live from Chennai with more details on this. Pramod, extremely worrying. I understand today also was an extremely rainy day in Chennai. But going by what the Met Department says, it's going to be worse in the coming days in Chennai and other parts of Tamil Nadu. Take us through what really the alert says.
Certainly, Akshita, this is the beginning of the monsoon in the state of Tamil Nadu, and it, categorically we can say from October 16 to almost December 16, we can expect maybe depressions, low depressions, and also the low pressure depressions and cyclones as well. But at the beginning, this is the first phase or the rainfall that we've received today, and for tomorrow also, extremely heavy rainfall has been predicted for 5 districts, that is below Chennai, a couple of districts, and also the delta regions are also expected to get good amount of rainfall. In the past 2 days, Theni district in particular and Virudhunagar and all those districts like Coimbatore, which falls on the foothills of the Western Ghats, they have received good amount of rainfall that has led to a flooding situation as well. Now the Deputy Chief Minister has said that all measures have been taken, and earlier the Chief Minister also held a meeting with the Chief Secretary and everybody along with the district collectors to find out the exact situation, now the preparedness and such. And when put forward the question as to what is the preparation that's been done for the monsoon, the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said that preparation did not just begin now, but for the past 2 months as well, all preparations have been done. The DMK government also claims that many canals and everything has also been desilted and cleaned to make sure that this monsoon will be dealt properly, Akshita.
We'll get a reality check for our viewers in just a bit, but Pramod, thanks for those details. Chennaiites, brace yourself for heavy rains in the next 24 hours. It's been a rather damp Diwali in Chennai this time after 14 years, but the next few days, it could be worse. The Met Department has issued an orange alert for heavy rain in the city for not just tomorrow, but the entire week. It's going to therefore be a long, long week for all of you in Chennai, as the forecast for heavy rain is from October 22nd all the way up to Friday. So this is to give all of you a heads up on what to expect this week and also the advisory that's been issued for your safety. There's no school shutdown or office shutdown announced as of now, but a general advisory to stay cautious, to avoid flooded roads and of course follow us as we will tell you what the situation is because the low pressure area is moving further inland. Also, mind you, this is just the beginning of the monsoon and so Chennai is in for a rough ride over the next few months. So for all you Chennaites, if your locality is already underwater or you see basic infra missing to deal with these rains, let us know here on India Today and we'll ensure we bring our cameras to you and let the government know what's to be done. So based on some of the SOSs from residents that we've received here at India Today, we stepped out to find out what exactly is the situation in some parts of Chennai. The government says we're fully ready for the monsoon, but is that actually the case? People are struggling right now because the infrastructure is simply not holding up. There are massive potholes in parts of Chennai, roads that no longer exist, and some areas which are deemed as IT hubs. Anaga Keshav travelled to many parts of Chennai to get you this ground report. Mind you, this is part one of a reality check. Over the next few days, we're going to continue getting you such ground reports.
This is the state of affairs in Chennai. This is the state of preparedness for the monsoon. As part one of a reality check, we visited Medavakkam in Chennai, where potholes pose as death traps and residents risk their lives every day to make it home.
I'm just going to drive through and show you how difficult it is. This entire stretch of road is riddled with huge potholes. This is how difficult it is for me to drive. I can feel my vehicles shaking as I drive. Just imagine the safety of citizens that has been jeopardized by the Chennai's civic administration. This is nothing but utter lack of apathy and disregard for the citizens of Chennai. In fact, I just had a word with one of those citizens who are residing in this road, and they told me that this particular patch of road has been like this for the last many years. Has this been the road's condition for many years?
Very worst year. I last 4-5 years, and this is very worst road. It's not the one bit only. Others all road is good. This one bit is very worst.
Has the area's authority come here ever to inspect the road? Have you ever told?
Come and see, and some little bit and building rashes, we can clear this. After that, it will be again the road problem.
Residents say their pleas for better infrastructure have fallen on deaf ears, and they are not the only ones. Our next stop is Pallikarani, the IT hub of the city, where we decided to conduct a reality check after multiple requests from residents on social media. And here's what we found.
We're reporting from Pallikarani, which connects Velachery to Medavakkam. This is one of the most popular Chennai's IT hubs, the IT corridor, and you can see the kind of roads that we are talking about. It's half cobblestones, half tar roads. In fact, the civic anger among the people is palpable. After wasting months of sunny days, it is now too late for the government to do any fixes as the rainy season has finally arrived.
Tall claims have been made by the government that they are fully prepared for the monsoon. But is this really their sense of preparedness? Of broken roads and death traps for residents? With Anaga Keshav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
And already we're seeing heavy rainfall being reported in several parts of Tamil Nadu. Let's give you a sense of what the situation is in these areas. 17 villagers who had visited a temple for Diwali were stranded after heavy rains. The fire and rescue teams responded swiftly using rope harnesses to safely bring all of them back. Heavy rains battered Pollachi, nearby areas and the Nilgiris over the weekend, triggering flash floods, traffic snarls, landslides and the uprooting of trees and electric poles. These are images where you can see water essentially flowing right through a temple area. The northeast monsoon wreaking havoc across Tamil Nadu, forcing villagers to move to safer areas. Many were seen carrying dead poultry, salvaging whatever remained of their livelihoods. This was in Theni of Tamil Nadu. Theni right now is one of the worst affected. Rescue teams have been working round the clock to evacuate those stranded in flood-hit areas as water levels rose to dangerous levels. Moving on, let's get you the latest updates coming in from Tamil Nadu politics. Remember, we're months away from an election in the state. The war of words between AIADMK and the rebels continues. We've got you an exclusive conversation with TTV Dinakaran, where he speaks out against EPS, unsurprisingly there, saying that from the AIADMK, it's now become the EDMK, Edapadi DMK. Listen in to what TTV had to tell us.
EPS is claiming that there is so much issue between DMK and Congress as alliance parties. Do you agree with that?
No, there may be disagreements between two parties like the ruling party, Congress and all. But here, after entering into India alliance, he made us to go away from India alliance. He's weakening the alliance.
India.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back to power. He want to retain the party. He want to defeat. He want to finish me and Paniselvam. That is his only motto in this election. He doesn't want to come back to power. He thinks that he will become opposition. At this time, surely it will not happen.
So just to gain some clarity, you were with NDA and you just said that he was a person who asked EPS, and that time EPS said that it was Delhi's decision and he showed a beer kind of way to show that you had to be removed. Then you joined NDA, you were part of NDA, and now what is happening is that why do you think EPS does not want to be there? I mean, you exited claiming that he should not be the CM candidate.
It was, see, he expelled us in order to compromise them or keep them in good works. He has told that. We don't know whether it is correct or not. Yeah, it's true or not. But he has betrayed us in order to have the power and enjoy the power. So how can we take his words? See, he is telling that BJP only protected us to run the government for 4 years. Then what happened to him? Why did he run away from BJP alliance? So we cannot take his words and we will not believe him. That is his nature is like that. Sorry, it's not ADMK now. It is only EDMK, Edapadi DMK only, because he has completely went against MGR's basic fundamental bylaws. So we cannot say it is ADMK. It's only Palanichami DMK. Yeah, everybody is laughing at Palanichami's activities. He's not behaving like a leader of a party or a seasoned politician. His behaviors it is totally selfish, and he doesn't want anybody to grow in politics, and especially people who has made him as the chief minister and who helped him to continue the government. He doesn't want them to exist in the politics. So surely this election, he will reap the fruit in this election, because for the last 8 years, he is ditching everybody. Even Delhi, they have ditched. See, in 2024, it's a very important election for the BJP. At the time he ditched BJP, came out. Now, once again, he came and joined the alliance. Do you think that in 2029 he will go with BJP? Surely he will not. That is his nature. He will betray everybody. So this time he will be taught a lesson, because in 2021 we made him not to come to power. This election, totally he will be defeated in politics.
Let's get you the latest update coming in on the fight to get back the Asia Cup trophy from Pakistan. The BCCI has now got support from Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. But at this point, the Asia Cup chairman, Naqvi, has refused to budge, refused to hand over the trophy to Team India to BCCI. Reportedly, Naqvi has insisted that a BCCI representative collect the trophy from him at the ACC headquarters in Dubai. The Indian board, however, has rejected that particular demand. And this even as the BCCI has confirmed to us here on India Today that a letter has been written to the ACC to give the trophy to the champion team fairly, and that there has been no response yet from the ACC, but the BCCI making it clear that if there's a need, they will escalate this to the ICC as well. Nitin Srivastava is joining us with more details. So on this, Nitin, this is a fight the BCCI hasn't forgotten and is continuing to push for the trophy to be brought home, to be brought to India. But the hurdles continue because it's clear that Naqvi is refusing to cooperate.
Well, absolutely. The day India became the champion of Asia Cup, we all know that how Indian team refused to take the trophy from Mohsin Naqvi, who is, Interior Minister of Pakistan, ACC chief, and also PCB chief. But Team India came back to home without the trophy, and this is the first time when any team who won the championship came home without the trophy. But as of now, the story we broke in the afternoon that BCCI has written an official email to Mohsin Naqvi, saying that the trophy should be handed over as soon as possible, and if there will be no response or no update within certain time of period, then BCCI will take this matter up. They will definitely escalate this issue to ICC. And there is a meeting of ICC next month around 6th or 7th. So we can, expect that all these issues will be heard and discussed over there with all board members of ICC.
All right. Thanks, Nitin, for joining us with those details. Let's see if there's any sort of clarity with the backing that India is now getting. The likes of Sri Lanka, Afghanistan have also backed the BCCI's demand to hand over the trophy. So there is pressure, no doubt, piling on the likes of Naqvi and the ACC. The BCCI making it clear. Otherwise, there is always the possibility that they will also move the ICC.